This capability maturity model is a beautiful place for you to develop a common language with the people that you're working with, usually your end users, to say, where are we? What's your perception of where we are? So if you start at stage 1, that's when everything's really unpredictable. This is my favorite place to be, and for the rest of you masochists out there, you probably love this too, because you're like, oh my God, are you a mess? Let's go. These are the people who are saying, we don't have process. And when you're looking at that triangle, the people, process, and technology triangle, all they have are people. They don't have process, they don't have technology, or they say, take my terrible process and put it on this beautiful technology. And then we'll get really mad at you when the system is clunky and doesn't work that well, right? You know this place. You've worked at this place. You've worked with this place. So these are the people that are at stage 1. And then when you move into stage 2, that's when you're saying, you know what, this is pretty well managed. We've got process. We have SOPs. You sign off on them in your first 2 weeks of work, and then you never think about them again until you do something wrong, and we tell you you signed off on that. So when you look at level 2, this is where a lot of organizations are, right? They understand that they need process, but it's very reactive, you know? Becky booked a $300 hotel, and we don't want people to do that, so now we're going to put a process in place that says all hotels have to be under $150, right? That's the kind of thing we're looking at here. When you move into level 3, this is when you're starting to get defined. This is a better organization. This is one that says, you know what, we're proactive. We're going to think about the way people should control their expense management. We're going to install an expense management application so that people know how do you stay within the parameters of what's acceptable in this organization or with this technology. So here, this is like an organization that's sort of running on the rails. They're doing things pretty well, and they probably want to get better, and that's when you're moving into level 4. And this is that quantitatively managed organization. I went to a seminar last week by a guy who wrote a book called The Sale Ready Company, and he said you don't have to be for sale in order to have your company feel clean, like they're sale ready. And I asked him, what's the biggest problem you see with these organizations? And he said, they're not using dashboards, or they're not using dashboards the right way. Who here has ever put together a Salesforce dashboard one time and the client or your end user was like, that's perfect? Nobody. Nobody. Why not? Because they don't know what they want. They're able to edit what you've given them, but they don't know what they want. They look and they say, yeah, okay, but that doesn't tell me. How many calls should we be making to make connects so that we can make meetings, so that we can put out proposals, so we can send contracts, so we can win the business, and then we can renew them, right? So when you're looking at this quantitatively managed organization, this is a well-organized, very nicely functioning company. We love these people because they know this is what we've got to get to, right? And when they know that they want a new report or a dashboard, they understand you have to be collecting that data to report on it, right? When you look at level 5, this is like the holy grail of an organization. This is one that is really optimized. So they're focused on process improvement. How do we do things better than we did them before so that we can keep growing as a company? Anybody here as old as me and ever heard of Blockbuster? When's the last time you walked into a Blockbuster? Blockbuster forgot to do this. They forgot to optimize, right? They didn't say, how are our numbers looking? When Netflix started sending you those little DVDs in the red envelope to your house that you didn't have to pay late fees on, Blockbuster started moving away because they forgot, hey, we should optimize, right? These are the things we should do. So when you look at this capability maturity model, you can use that to establish common language with your client, with the people that you're working with, to say, where are we and how can we get to where we want to get?